Welcome back. In this video, we will discuss a little bit about why strategic human resource management, why is it important, what is it needed for, why should we be bothered about it. So let me start there. Before we delve deeper into what is strategic human resource management and our exploration of strategic human resource management, it is important to understand why human resources need to be managed strategically. Why not just believe in coordination? Well, scholars in the field of management have always tried to find out what organizations really need. And they came up with the realization that what organizations really need to strive for is sustainable competitive advantage. Well, how does an organization get sustainable competitive advantage? While there have been many research work around what an organization needs to help maintain, strategically manage its competitive advantage, one particular thing that stands out is resources. The argument is that sustainable competitive advantage is usually conferred on organizations, or organizations are able to maintain it also based on the resources that are available to them. These resources can be anything. They can be technological resources, financial resources, knowledge resources, or human resources. There can be multiple different resources. However, what is more important is the mere presence of this resource is not a sufficient condition for obtaining sustainable competitive advantage. That means that these resources need to have certain characteristics. These characteristics can be summed up by the acronym VRIN, which essentially stands for this. Resources that provide you sustainable competitive advantage need to be valuable. They need to be rare. They need to be inimitable. That means they cannot be imitated. And last, N, which stands for non-substitutable. That means they cannot be substituted by something else. Organizations which are able to hold on to resources which provide them these four characteristics are the ones who will have sustainable competitive advantage. Now, there can be so many resources that have the same characteristics. Which resource actually will be able to provide you with sustainable competitive advantage? Pause the video right now and think about resources within an organization that may exhibit all these characteristics. Which ones did you think of? Did you think of human resources as one of those resources? Well, human resources exhibit all the characteristics of a resource required to achieve and maintain sustainable competitive advantage. Getting the right resources makes them valuable. Having talent or people with high potential in your team or in your organization makes them rare. Human decision making is very, very difficult to imitate. And finally, although you may argue that humans can get substituted by machines, in knowledge, as organizations and as the economy becomes more knowledge intensive, the knowledge that a human holds cannot really be substituted. And therefore, human resources are one of those resources which have all the characteristics. They are valuable, rare, inimitable, non-substitutable, and they can provide organizations with sustainable competitive advantage. Can you think of any examples of organizations that have been highly successful because of their human resource management? How many organizations could you think of? The truth is a significantly high number of organizations across industries are successful and continue to remain successful because of their human resources. This is also true when the external environment that an organization operates in is exposed to many changes. Human resources help organizations adapt to the external changing environment. You may notice that some organizations have been able to sail through disruptive events such as financial crisis that we have seen, epidemics in the form of COVID-19, social unrest in some cases, while others have not been able to do this, even when they had financial resources available for use. And this is what makes human resources very important. This also means it becomes very important for us as HR professionals to manage the resources in a way that they continue to provide sustainable competitive advantage. Now, the discipline of HR concentrates on people in an organization. First, we transformed our department from personnel to human resource. Now we are going to talk about how we moved from HRM to strategic HRM. The second transformation that I'm going to speak about has come because people or organizations recognize that other than just coordinating the assets that are available within an organization, they also need to be linked to the organization. That is when they actually become valuable and rare. If they were not linked to the strategy of an organization, we are only coordinating them. They might be valuable, but they are not rare because they are not linked to the strategy of the organization. In this video, we spoke about why human resources, and we discussed the idea of sustainable competitive advantage. We argued that human resource is one of those resources that can provide an organization with sustainable competitive advantage because it's valuable, it's rare, it's inimitable, and it's non-substitutable. We also talked about how they become valuable and rare if they are aligned to the strategy of the organization. This is the beginning or the genesis of strategic human resource management. In our next video, we will first dwell into the roles that HR managers need to play when they think about strategic human resource management. See you in the next video.